If you ever need your song to be mixed or mastered, or you need one of our signature vocal chains, or you need a professional recording template in FL, Pro Tools and Logic Pro X, head over now to rlrecordings.com and get yours today. Alright everybody, we have a good, interesting video today. How many people out there have heard of Serban Ghenea, I believe is how you pronounce his name? Because this man has over 240 number one songs that he has mixed. His other name is also the king of pop mixing. So to say the very least, this man is very accomplished and knows far more than I do when it comes to mixing. So let's make a vocal chain from what we know about his information. What information we know about him. For the sake of simplicity, we only have a 2-track here, and as you can see, this is literally the entire template. There's nothing fancy, there's nothing going on, there's no hidden anything, because you can see all of the stuff over there. And we're just gonna, we might as well just give it a listen immediately. Let's go.
Malloy, why this shit bang?
Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay? I'm always messed up on my own pain, okay? Hey, but I'm trying and I'm trying, but I'm trying so little. Never feel a high or low, I'm always in the middle. Yeah, my life is still a confused.
As you can hear that, the vocal is thick, it's present, it's in your face, which is the way Serban does it. And that's the key to pop mixing, even though this song isn't really a pop mix. But, you know, the chain works when it works, you know? So, first things first, we're not going to start with the vocals. We're actually going to start with the beat. Since this is only a 2-track, we don't have any stems. We've got to be a little bit creative on certain things. And that means making space and room for the vocals so the vocals can be louder and more present without anything going in the way and making things sound less loud and less impactful and less in your face. I have a tangle in my headphones. There we go. Tangle in my headphones. Right. So the first thing I did was grab an EQ and put it on the beat. Vocals and 2-track mixing is very difficult if you don't know what you're looking for. First things first is I took out some low end. And you're probably thinking, why on earth did I do this? Does this create phase issues? And the answer to that question is, I'm not removing it. I'm not having it there to remove the low end. I'm having it there to remove the rumble. Because the low end is the first thing that hits your limiter before anything else. And if your limiter is already slamming before you've even put your vocals in it, you're not getting anything anywhere near as loud as it could possibly be. If I just mute the vocals and I just solo this. How many of you can hear that? The answer should be not many of you. Unless you are on some of the best studio monitors the market can buy, you can probably hear down here. But if you're on your phone, an iPad, or just wearing headphones on your computer, or just your computer speakers, you probably can't hear that. I can't hear that. So how can I tell if something's being removed? Well, it's that if the kick has lost any punch, which has it. We just go over here. No, it hasn't. It hasn't lost any punch. So, what's the point of doing it? It's just to remove rumble. Like I've said before, it's the first thing that hits your limiter. We need to make sure that's under control. And so that when we go louder in our mix, nothing is going to crush it. I've done a tiny bit of a mid-range boost. And this is a middle. On lovely Pro Q3, I've got mid-side. And this is just boosting the mids, leaving the sides. Because the kick can go down in the frequency spectrum, and this is just getting a little bit of that harmonic. There you go, there's the word, I remembered it. Harmonics added, but it's not adding harmonics because it's an EQ. It's just boosting it. So on for example, a computer, like a Mac speaker, a phone speaker, an iPad speaker, you can still hear the kick. It's still present. You can still feel that punch, which is there. You can see I've tried things, and they didn't work, so I've just turned them off. Next thing is the sides. This is very interesting because a hi-hat and a snare are two things that can make your vocals sound not present and in your face and up front. If I just solo this. I know it may not sound like much, but I'm just controlling it. I'm making sure any of those harsh frequencies and the things that poke out are just being controlled. They're just getting down in the mix. Because I don't want the brightest thing in my song to be the hi-hat. I want it to be the vocals. We're going pop here. We're going pop here on this hip-hop track, okay? And that's just what this is. I've chosen 7.9. That's just where I went up to and think, yeah, that's good. Could I have gone further? Maybe, but I don't want to take out the hi-hats altogether. I just want to control them. And that's the first thing I did before even touching the vocals. And this is what you should do before touching the vocals when you're mixing for a release. And as you can see here, I tried things. I even got a limiter on here. I was going to squish it and limit it, but it didn't sound good. No, it didn't sound good. It sounded way too squished and artificial, so I just took it off. Because you can see this beat is already limited. I'm just trying to limit it as a whole for mastering, for when this song goes to mastering. I'm thinking ahead. But I was going to ruin it if I did that, so I just got rid of it. It's unnecessary. The only thing I need is EQ, and I did it. Next thing is the vocals. Since this is only a 2-track, vocals are next. There are some talks and some places on the internet that said Serban also uses a cathedral for Valhalla as well, which is in here somewhere. Cathedral type. That's chamber. There you go. Cathedral. As well as a hall on his vocals. But I didn't think this song necessarily needed it, as I only probably needed about one verb, and so I've decided to go for hall, as that's the more notable one, and that sounded right for this song. This is my Valhalla. It's the DJ Swivel one. Why am I using a DJ Swivel one on a Serban? Because it sounds good, alright? And it got me what I wanted, and that's it. That's what I used for the hall. Delay is just H delay, simple, doing a bit of the EQ, and I don't need to do anything else. 8th note ping pong, that's more of a personal touch there, than more of a Serban touch. But I like how this sounds, and I use it to just create a little bit of width in the mix. And then I've got a doubler, just a simple doubler. No extra shenanigans going on there. But for the vocals.
Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay? I'm always messed up on my own pain.
In your face, thick and heavy. That's what we like. So the first thing I ever did is EQ. And you're looking at this and like, whoa, isn't that too much? And the answer, no, it's never too much if it sounds right, you know? Got a low cut, 109 hertz, simple, just getting rid of the low end, because a kick can still mess up your vocals, it's still gonna mess it up. So just getting rid of it. And then we're gonna do 6 dBs at 247 hertz with a wide bell here. Just to remove all those muddiness. Listen.
Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay? I'm always messed up on my own pain, okay? Hey,
do you hear how muddy that is without the EQ on? I'm just taming it. Like in my last video, we got to tame that muddiness, and we're just making it brighter as well. This is a very nicely recorded vocal, so not a lot of EQ is needed. I don't need to do tiny little notches to fix it. And there's just a bit of boost at 3.3. Which is really quite far down here to the mid-high range, and just boosting it all the way up. 3 dB, basically 4. I don't look at the numbers. I only looked at the numbers now. Ooh, that's quite deep, but it doesn't matter. It sounded good. It got me what I needed. Next, compression. Serban loves the CLA 76 from what I found, and he uses this thing aggressively and frontly, because this is a great compressor to get your vocals in your face when needed. Let's see how much it's doing.
Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay? I'm always messed up on my own pain, okay? But I'm trying and I'm trying, but I'm trying so little. Never feel a high or low, I'm always in the middle. Yeah, my life is still a confusing riddle.
Apart from the loudness jump that you can hear when I turn it on, it's slamming. If I go to the loudest point,
Forever and ever, yeah. Never go back to my old way.
that's a dramatic shift in sound, but it doesn't sound it because we've squashed the vocal to a nice stand still. It doesn't, as I always said, there's no such thing as overcompression, it's just bad compression, alright? If you need to slam that vocal compression to get the sound you want, slam that vocal compression, alright? You can say that you've sucked out the life of a vocal with too much compression. And then that just goes back down to bad compression, all right? If your vocals are too heavily squished and you feel like the life has been sucked out of it, just turn the attack down. My attack here is on 4. And if I turn it down...
Forever and ever, yeah. Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay? I'm always messed up on my own pain.
Can you hear that? I'm sucking the life out of it when I go to 7, but I'm kind of bringing it back in if I go down to 1. 4 is a good in the middle. It tightens the vocal and it takes off the unnecessary transients of the vocal, but keeping in what I need to make the vocal sound present and in your face. Next thing, de-essing. After you've boosted up the high end, you've compressed so that now everything is tight. So there's still some that will come out, and a de-esser is just a quick way Serban does to just get rid of it. Everybody de-esses. This is my chosen de-esser. And there you go. It's just it's a
Forever and ever, yeah. Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay? I'm always messed up on my own.
simples. There's nothing really to this vocal chain. It's just 3 plugins. You can see there's an R comp here. Serban does sometimes use a second compressor to control the vocals more. And in this song, I decided I didn't need to do that because the vocals was already in the place that I wanted them to be. So it's just here because I tried it. What settings did we use? That.
Forever and ever, yeah. Never go back to my old ways, okay? Don't go back to the old days, okay?
It's not necessary. Did you hear much of a difference? No. Good. Compression doesn't always have to make that much of an absolute big difference for your mix. That's why I took it out, because I didn't need to. What I didn't do a Serban mix bus, because nobody really knows for sure what he uses on his mix bus, and I'm not here to speculate. So the only thing I've done is my trusty God particle, and that's all I've done, as that's my mix bus. We're not talking about Serban's mix bus. That's a whole different video and a whole different conversation to have. We're just doing his vocal chain. And I gotta mention, if you do not have the FabFilter de-esser, you can always use the R-de-esser, which is this one from Waves, which is actually the one Serban uses, but I personally prefer the FabFilter one to this one, which is why I'm using the de-esser from FabFilter. But you can also use the one from Waves. And this EQ, I'm using Pro Q3. Serban uses Halo channel strip. I don't have that channel strip, so I've got to use Pro Q3. You can use any EQ you want, as long as you're getting rid of what you don't like, and then, of course, you can also boost. Listen to your mix, please. That's what Serban does. He listens to the beat. He listens to it. What can be taken away to make everything sound better? All right, that's my message to you for today. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, or if you're a bit confused, or I didn't explain it too well, that's all right if I didn't explain it too well. I'm a shit teacher. That means I'm a shit teacher if I didn't explain something correctly. Please let me know in the comments if you're confused about anything. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.